AI, lot of great productive technology can convert your transaction work into. You can get the digital efficiency. It's all about how you adapt to that technology in your work. Okay, so the changing landscape, it's a major number one impact in the future work. Second is the industrial revolution, which I talked about. Some people call it fourth industrial revolution. Some people call it digital transformation as fourth industrial revolution, and intelligent transformation as a fifth one. A lot of people have different ways of railing that. So either way, whatever the number of revolution we are talking about, focus on access of information and advance. How can we generate more? Today we have information available. Are we leveraging those information? Are we leveraging those advanced technology? The faster you adapt the technology, the faster you grow. Okay, learn new technologies, include the new technologies in your work on a day-to-day basis for an exponential growth, for a rapid growth. Okay, and the repetitive process automations. Try to proactively eliminate your repetitive task processes. Whatever the task you are doing in a repetitive mode, eliminate that. Focus on something more, and I will keep saying this again and again, focus on something more transformational. Okay. My father has learned something over when he was kid. He learned something and then he got into the work, and he worked for years in the same format. He never upskilled himself, but he did great. He taught. He sent me to school. He gave me the educations, everything, and today he's retired and living a happy life. He never had a need to upskill himself. He never had a need to continuously learn. But I do. If I don't learn, I will be obsolete in a couple of years. Nobody is gonna call me after 2 years because I talk old stuff and all those which are not relevant anymore. So this is very important, is continuous learning. Lifelong development. Your organization is always in a beta mode. Okay, beta mode is continuous development. You have to continuously work on the organizations. Whatever working today, possibility may not work tomorrow. So continuously, you might have to upgrade yourself, your organization, and your people across, right? Because to stay relevant in the industry, okay, and focus on the whole focus is shifting from the simply a job for a money or job for the salary to the employee satisfaction and experience. Lot of employees come to our organization is not because they are just going to get the salary, because oh, what is the culture? I'm getting a good experience or not? Am I getting a good learning or not? Am I getting a good opportunity to grow or not? Everything takes, it's very important. So as a future of, if you're building an organization for the future, focus on that, focus on building people, because that is going to rest. Everything is transaction work is going to take in care. Okay, so I think we are getting into the most amazing time ever, because now it's the time that we can engage ourselves into more meaningful work. I have never worked in the most amazing environment than what I'm working today, right? Because every work I do is meaningful. Yeah. So it's a good opportunity. So this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. Focus was business technology. Business technology decision was very transactional. Today, people came on the top. Focus on the people, focus on the people. I'll keep repeating, focus on the people, because that is going to be transformational for us. Okay, so future of work is all about the desirability of the people. How do we make the transformational change across the organizations or create more impact to the people? Okay, all right. I hope. Now, when I say, okay, design something for people, design something for humanity, design something for more impact. What does that exactly mean? Okay, when I say design the future, which means I'll give you the multiple perspective. Okay, a technology company which is trying to anticipate long-term ethics and its consequences for the new product. Again, focus on, so technology companies are no longer just simply building a product, but they are talking about the long-term ethics and the consequences of the new product, that how I can create the product which is create impact, which will be good for the humanity at the long run. Yeah. And city, if you are focused, if you are a government, coming up with the new ways to be more resilient in the face of climate change, inclusivity, crime, everything, for the better livelihood of their citizens. Again, city is started focusing on the people. Technology company focusing on the people. University planning new kinds of courses, majors, degrees to teach students the work skills of the future. So again, university is focusing on the people, the students. Okay, an entrepreneur inventing new way, new services in the continuous changing world, and what kind of help will people need in the future no one else has created in a way. Yeah. So the entrepreneurs, our greatest entrepreneurs, started focusing on what are the challenges with the people and how can I create that transformational change. A CEO of an organization looking to lead their company into the future and to avoid disrupted by the new technology. So how companies start shifting from the new ways, with the new mindsets, with the new cultural shift, with the new landscapes. Okay, an engineer looking to inspire others with the future of technologies. Everything talks about, and at the end of the day, all of us, right, thinking about the life we want to lead, the changes we want to make, and the world we want to live in, right? So, as I said, it is more transformational again. Yeah, isn't it the best time that we are no longer in the world where transaction gets the priority? No, I can do more meaningful work, right? So now if I say, think like a futurist, one of the first parameters, there are 5 core principles of thinking like a futurist. One is forget about predictions. We do not predict. We do not predict, we imagine. Future cannot be predicted, future needs to be imagined. And that ability, that skills only we have at this moment. I don't know the future of AI. Tomorrow, future, the AI might predict the future, but as of today, it is still a unique ability of all of us, the humans, that we have a power of imagination. The more we imagine, the better future we can create for the people, for us, and the people around us. Okay. Focus on signals. Now, what is signals? I'll give you a very good example of a signal. This is one of my favorite example. I quote everywhere, because what is signal? Signal is the world is telling you something. Now, AI is a signal that world is telling you that it is changing. It's not only AI. There are a lot of signals world is giving you today. It is how we leverage those signals. That is very important. Okay. How do we, rather than being fearful of the signal, take an advantage of the signal? I'll give you a very beautiful example of a signal, right? What signal really means. I'll directly go to the example and then we'll come back to this slide to understand further. So United Nations has unveiled a design of a floating city that can withstand the category 5 hurricane. Now, our United Nations and US government were working, MIT with an Explorers Club and 4 other organizations coming together, because the eastern part, the coastal area of the United States are always have faces a lot of large hurricanes, right? Where massive hurricanes, which creates a lot of destructions in the coastal areas. So they have says like, well, we need to solve this problem. We need to find a way, because there is too much populations living on the coastal area of the eastern part of the United States. So they have created this floating city. They have imagined that why can't we have a city which floats on the ocean? right? Each floating city is created on a platform which is anchored in the bottom of this city, and then each it's a platforms, like six platform makes a village, and the whole six villages makes the entire city. And one city can withhold approximately more than 10,000 to 15,000 citizens, right? And it's purely a sustainable cities, self-sustainable, which has the farming and production of the daily needs and everything, right? So this is the design of the city that they are building, and prototype was about to get ready in a year or two. Now imagine this. Now, do we have to fear? No. Now imagine that, is this giving you a signal that world might be very different by 2050? So it could be, yes, might be. Now imagine the Earth, the planet Earth has 70% water. Okay. And now if we as humans are able to conquer the sea and start building the cities on the sea, and imagine by 2050, if we have millions of such cities in the sea, how the world might be in 2050, in 20 years, in 40 years, in 50 years. It's going to be very different. Now, the question is, do I be fearful? No, the question I believe is, how can I leverage that? How can I make most out of this? How can I benefit out of this? How can I take advantage of such situations? Because this is a signal that world might be very different in the future. Yeah. So think from that perspective. How do you interpret this? Like, what kind of changes? First of all, always ask that why this changes is happening. What kind of changes does this represent? What does it mean when this changes happens? What is driving this change? What is the force behind this change? Okay. So if you take an AI is a very strong signal world is giving you, that world is going to be very different in the future. Our work is going to be very different in the future. The question is, what is driving this force? What force is behind this? Why this AI change is happening and why it is necessary? Okay, why in your organization this change is important and what will happen? Okay, what might the world be like in 10 years? What my organization will be in 10 years if I start leveraging that, and what new transformational opportunities I can bring for myself and for the people or my people. Okay, and is this the future I want to help make it? Do I want to be part of it? For me, absolutely yes. Yeah. Now, this is one last game before I open up for the Q&A. Okay, I know I'm almost up, but before I open up for the Q&A, I want to put you this last game, and this is very important. Okay, how will you navigate this uncertain future? How will you navigate this uncertain future? Because everybody has a different way of interpreting the future. Okay, so let's frame it that where do you stand? Okay, okay. Now, step number one of this game, and I respect that if everyone plays a part and put yourself in that quadrant. Okay. First of all, step number one: think where you would like to scale. Or where do you think that world is going to be? Do you think that it's getting worse or it's getting better? Put your number, what scale you are in. Like you think one, like, oh, world is getting worse, or you think that world is getting better, or you somewhere between, like, yeah, it's the middle, but I'm more towards the better side of it. So I'm somewhere around 6 or 7. Okay, put yourself in that right number. Okay, I hope everybody is putting it. Okay, skill, and you just have to do it by yourself. Okay, I will ask you to put it in the chat later. Have you put it? Okay. From 1 to 10, from the words, what do you think where the world is with this AI? All right. Now, x-axis. So x-axis is done. Now put in the y-axis. When with this changes, do you have a power, or how much power do you think you have to change or influence that future. You may feel that I